What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for Serie A Week 7 predictions. And as I say every week, it is the series where we get the most perfect scores. And even in a difficult week last week, we did get a perfect score with a very high odds tip as well. We had Udinese to draw 1-1 with Cagliari with the tip of both teams to score and under 3.5 goals at 3. And of course, that came in bang on the money. So you love to see it. And we are back for more Serie A. Please do subscribe if you want to see more prediction videos. Thank you so much for the support. We've had 3,000 new subscribers since we obviously started making these videos a month ago when the season started. It's been absolutely incredible. And I said in the Bundesliga video yesterday, if you want to see an AFCON series, then let's see if we can get to 40,000 subscribers by the end of October. Real quick, flashing up on the screen, all of the people that are supporting me over on the Patreon. There's a ton of you over there. I really do appreciate it. If you want access to exclusive members tips and accumulators, as well as a shout out in every single video, then be sure to click that top link, join the Patreon and join us. Especially useful when it's the international break like it has been, because I still do posts pretty much every day with regards to football and tips and everything like that, whereas on YouTube we tend to take the week off. I am looking forward to perhaps making international break videos maybe when the season ends over the summer in the run up to the World Cup. We'll still do regular videos over the summer, but for now the Patreon is the place to be. But we're kicking it off with Lecce up against Sassuolo. This is really interesting. I mean, I've had my eye on Sassuolo for a long time. Even when they were in the Serie A a few years ago, I was keeping my eye on them then, and in Serie B as well last year. On the Patreon we had Sassuolo was often a bit of a banker for us in Serie B, and they're really taking to life in Serie A, and it looks like they're going to be an Italian mainstay in the top flight. They're on 9 points, winning 3 of their last 4 games, and you've got the likes of Lecce down there now on 5 points thanks to their win against Parma, but you've got, Pisa down there. I think they're destined to be relegated, who we will talk about in a minute, but Sassuolo look like they're going to stick around in Serie A, and they are slight favourites away from here, but honestly the bookies can't separate them. I'm going to back them. I'm going to say Sassuolo win 1-0, and the tip, I really like the odds for this one. It's Sassuolo double chance and under 3.5 goals at 1.8. I mean, you look at their win there, they beat Lazio 1-0, Udinese 3-1, phenomenal, and then Verona 1-0, so 2 of their 3 wins have gone under 3.5. Lecce lose a lot of games, but I don't see Sassuolo blowing Lecce out of the water, because sometimes they do tend to get absolutely battered. You got 4-1 there, Atalanta, but even AC Milan, it was 2-0. So I think 1-0 Sassuolo, but Sassuolo double chance and under 3.5 goals looks really good. It looks nailed on. I don't think Lecce beats Sassuolo. Either way, I think it'll be low scoring. I'm going to go for the away side. After this, it's Pisa up against Verona. Verona winless this season. Pisa winless this season. It's just bad, isn't it? I mean, Pisa, they lost to Bologna 4-0. We had Bologna to win at 1.6, and they lost 4-0. Verona lost to Sassuolo 1-0, as I said. Verona aren't even favourites. They're underdogs here. Pisa favourites at home. How you can have Pisa favourites in any game in the Serie A is beyond me. I'm going to try and risk it. I'm going to go for a 0-0. The tip is going to be under 2.5 goals at 1.61. I think those odds are pretty good. I think with being in La Liga, tipping unders in Getafe games, for example, or Alaves games, and seeing the likes of 1.3, I think under 2.5 goals at 1.61 for these two teams, I think that's pretty good. Pisa, it's high scoring when they get battered, but Verona aren't very good. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 and go for unders. After this, we have Torino up against Napoli. Napoli losing only to AC Milan. Don't know how they did. And coming from behind against Genoa. It was quite shocking that they even conceded, but ultimately they won the day. They scored I think Højlund got 2, and it was 2-1. Torino drew with Lazio 3-3. I don't want to speak about Lazio. They are and always have been the bogey team for Serie A. I digress. We're going to move on to the result here. A simple little 2-0 win to Napoli, and I think the odds are really good here. I've got odds of Napoli to win at 1.66. I will say though, I picked these odds, I did these tips during the international break, so it's quite likely that the odds have fluctuated and changed as money's come into the market. So I've got my odds here, but by the looks of this, as you see, odds are subject to change, but you might get an even higher odds pick for Napoli to win, but I'm going to go Napoli to win regardless. That doesn't change no matter what the odds are, to be honest, for this fixture. After this, it's Roma up against Inter Milan. Roma only losing the 1 game against Torino. Mental. They could have easily won that and be on 18 out of 18 points. Inter Milan losing to Juventus 4-3 and Udinese 2-1. That was a shock. That one not so much, but it was an insane game. All of them winning their last 3 Serie A games. I am going to shade this to Inter Milan. I know it's difficult. to call. Roma don't concede many goals, but they also don't score many either. Inter Milan, however, they don't really struggle with scoring goals. So I think when Roma comes up against an Italian giant like Inter Milan, they might actually struggle because they do find chances hard to come by, especially in Europe when they missed 3 penalties. They took the first penalty, missed it, had to be retaken for encroachment. He took it again, missed it again, had to be retaken again for the keeper being off his line. They changed player, he took it and he missed it again. So 3 penalties in a row. I mean, absolutely incredible scenes, but I'm going to say Inter Milan win this one, and it's just like the Sassuolo tip, same odds, Inter Milan double chance and under 3.5 goals at 1.8, because as I said, Roma games, they aren't super high scoring. You've got 2-1s, 1-0s. They haven't had any game go over 3.5 goals, so I think Inter Milan can win this, but I don't see it being 4 or more goals. After this, we have Como up against Juventus. I'm going to go for Juventus to win, even though draw Ventus has reared its ugly head once again. 3 wins from 3 and now 3 draws in a row. Atalanta, AC Milan, not terrible draws, I guess, but I'm going to say Juve win this one 2-1. The tip, however, is going to be both teams to score at 1.9. I tipped that over on Patreon when Como played Atalanta, and it came in 1-1. Rather than tipping what some people might expect to be result of Atalanta to win, we went with both teams to score. I'm going to tip both teams to score again here because just in case we see another draw rather than going for a Juventus outright win. But these odds are quite big, I would say. I think I'm surprised they're 2.5 to be honest, but I'm going to go for both teams to score regardless. After this, it is Cagliari up against Bologna. I think this 4-0, that just really buoys Bologna. 1-1, this was nailed on for me. We called it. I'm going to say that this is a 1-0 win to Bologna. And I thought about Bologna to win, but I'm actually going to tip under 2.5 goals at odds of 1.66. After this, we have Genoa up against Parma. Parma losing out to Lecce, which is quite shocking, and Genoa unsurprisingly losing out to Napoli, but they weren't disgraced in that game. I'm going to say that Genoa get their first win of the season and get off the bottom 2 of the table. I'm going to say they get a 1-0 win here, but the tip, again, it's going to be low scoring. It's going to be under 2.5 goals at odds of 1.57. After this, we travel to Bergamo for Atalanta up against Lazio. Now, Lazio can get in the bin, in all honesty. It's so hard to predict. Look at this loss to Roma. Fair enough. Loss to Sassuolo. Where did that come from? The win against Genoa. Makes sense. We're back. And then they draw to Torino like that. Silly. It's just silly. Atalanta haven't lost a game all season. They've only won 2, but they're going 2 draws, 2 wins, and they're alternating that, so they're going to win this game. I'm going to say a 2-1 win to Atalanta, and the tip is Atalanta to win at 1.95. Following that, we travel to the San Siro for AC Milan against Fiorentina. Fiorentina, surprisingly, not won a game in Serie A. I think AC Milan do win this. Obviously, they drew, as I said, against Juventus. Not a bad result. The Cremonese loss is still the only loss they've had all season. So I think AC Milan win this one 2-1. The odds here are not particularly great, but I don't think they'll blow Fiorentina out of the water. Fiorentina games are never really super high scoring. Even the likes of Napoli, you've got 3-1. So all games for Fiorentina this season being under 4.5 goals. So my tip is going to be AC Milan to win and under 4.5 goals. And that bumps the odds up to 1.72. And the final game, it's Cremonese up against Udinese. Cremonese winning their first 2 games, winless since. Udinese winless in their last 3. I think this is going to be hard to call. The odds can't separate them. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And I'm going to go for the tip again, back-to-back weeks for Udinese. Both teams to score and under 3.5 goals at odds of 3.1. I really love the predictions and tips for this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments. And here is a little summary of that. No team scoring more than twice. I think if Napoli really put the burners on, they could potentially score 3 or more goals, but other than that, you've got bigger teams in the league, the likes of, AC Milan, Fiorentina. I don't think AC Milan run away with that game. Como, Juve, similar there. Atalanta, Lazio, similar there, and then Roma, Inter Milan, similar there. So any teams that normally you'd expect to score maybe a few more goals in Serie A, they've got relatively tough fixtures this week. So if I'm looking for upsets, maybe Lecce take a point from Sassuolo or even beat them at home. Maybe Pisa get their first win of the season, and possibly Como take something from Juventus. I think the teams that are underdogs but at home potentially have a chance, if I'm picking an upset from that list, to get the job done. But that is going to do it for Serie A predictions. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.